All right, good morning. Welcome to the IC Realtime webinar series. I am Pat Carter. I'm the technical trainer here at IC Realtime. I handle all of our, hey, good morning, welcome. I handle all of our public as well as private webinars. If you're interested in hosting a webinar for your team, please reach out to me. I am Patrick at icrealtime.com, and I'd be more than happy to coordinate any kind of training. Hi, welcome. I'd be happy to coordinate any kind of training that you need for your team or also for your clients. So welcome to our series. We do these every Wednesday and Friday. The first one is at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. That's what you're here for. We will replay this webinar at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. And then again, on Friday, we'll have a new topic. In fact, Friday, we'll be talking about HD ABS, which is a really cool exciting technology. If you're already familiar with working with Siamese cable and BNC connectors, ABS really takes it to the next level. So again, thank you for joining us talking about some new products. We've got some really cool, exciting things happening. Hi, welcome. Really cool, exciting things happening around here. We just had a great meeting this morning talking about some stuff that's coming on the horizon. There are some new websites that are going to be available here very soon, including one specifically on the iSniper Gen 2 that we're going to take a look at today. You'll find a lot of our units will now be featuring H.265 compression, which is pretty awesome. If you're already familiar with H.264 compression, which is what most of the industry has been using for a while, H.265 actually compresses that high definition image.
I got this, but I got no cord for it.
Hi.
I don't know if
So what H.265 does is compresses your bandwidth requirements as well as your storage requirements down by about 50%. So it really does give you a much, much better threshold, especially in those high definition type images. Let's go ahead and move this out of the way and we'll go right to recorders. I want to talk about some changes that are happening in the HD ABS world. Again, on Friday, we're going to be talking a lot more about this. There are some upgrades to the AVR 1700 series that you should definitely know about. The 1700 series is a great AVR. It's one of our more popular units. It's a nice low profile. It's a nice low profile system. It has a lot of room for growth, has a really powerful processor in it. It's my go-to unit for a lot of my high definition over coax, bless you, I think, high definition over coax applications. It works great with analog as well as ABS as well as IP. It's not my go-to for integration. For those, I use the 800 series, which we'll talk about here in a second. But if you're looking for just a good, strong go-to unit for your residential and light commercial, you're doing upgrades and you really want to keep the existing Siamese cable in place, this is your perfect unit. You would match this up with ABS cameras, either our 720p or our 1080p version. And again, that line has grown substantially. We even have Starlight lenses now available in the ABS group. So let's move one more. We're going to go right into the 800 series. This is my favorite AVR. This is a great series of high definition over coax, as well as traditional, as well as IP. They have a lot of room for growth, a lot of room for hard drives if you need to expand your hard drives. These will be running on the H.265 conversion, or sorry, compression. So you'll have a very, very powerful solution you'll be able to offer your clients. Now, if you're doing any kind of home automation, these have profiles for Crestron and Saban and Control4 for Universal Remote, RTI, Elan G. Any of those home automation applications, I go straight to the 800 series. You're going to see some changes in this as well. The 808S is going to be turning into what's called a +3. We'll come up with some cool snazzy name for it, but essentially it's going to give you the ability to expand beyond your 8 ports, kind of like we did with the Flex unit a while ago. So be on the lookout for that. Probably later in the month, we'll have a release on it. Check your inboxes. Make sure you see those latest updates. It's a very, very cool solution. Another brand new product that's come into the line recently are some more economical PoE switches. Of course, you know our managed switches are very, very powerful. They start at 8 PoE ports and work their way all the way up to 24. They are managed. You can log into them and modify the ports as much as you like. You want to turn the power up or down or disable a port remotely. You have all that functionality in a managed switch. But we knew a lot of our clients didn't need that. They didn't need that power. They were just looking for a good economical switch. So now we have the Power PoE 16, Power PoE 24. They're great little economical switches. You see these here. They're well within your price point. And there is an 8-channel as well. So the PoE 8 gives you a nice small desktop version of Power over Ethernet. Now, we talked about it last month, but it definitely bears repeating. Know that we do have a switch with high PoE. The Power High PoE 8 features 4 regular PoE ports, 2 PoE Plus ports, and 2 high PoE ports. So as the requirements for cameras are getting stronger, we certainly have a switch that's ready for that. So again, if you're using anything with either PoE Plus or high PoE, I definitely recommend our high PoE 8. It's a great entry level. Also, you're going to see some real changes to the website here very, very soon. We're doing an awful lot when it comes to website changing, modification. We're going to have a lot of extra links put on to where the cameras are. You'll actually be able to see live view or snapshot view of what that camera is going to look like. I think that's going to make a huge impact on our website. You're also going to see the dealer portal continuing to grow. There's a lot of really cool information in the dealer portal. If you're a client who's using that now or you plan on using it, definitely talk to your sales rep. Make sure that you're set up for it. It allows you to go in and place orders online. You could track orders online. You could do service tickets. You could actually schedule support calls. There's a calendar in there for that. You can also see how many of your clients are on that awesome I See My Cloud solution. It really gets the job done. So if you're not using the dealer portal yet, definitely talk to your sales rep about getting signed up for it. It's free of charge, and it gives you a great deal of expandability. Another really cool new asset, another really cool function that you're seeing in our recorders and our cameras is analytics. We are one of the few manufacturers in the world who have really tied in a lot of analytics into the camera level. I'm going to go ahead and log into one real quick just to kind of show you what some of the functionality is. If I log into this IP camera, you'll notice I have IVS as one of the events. I can go in here and modify tripwires. I can set regions for detection. Maybe I want to activate another camera when motion is detected in a particular realm. I can set this. Once it's configured, I can do a virtual fence line. I have a lot of options for this. I can modify this in such a way that whenever a person walks in, it will do facial recognition. If you're tying audio into it, it can do audio recognition. Maybe the neighbor's kid squealing his tires in the front yard will trigger the PTZ to track him, or configure your recorder to be able to notify you in those cases. The applications are absolutely limitless. We've been waiting a long time for IVS. We really have been waiting for analytics to be built into a camera like our iSeries. So any camera with an I at the end of it is an intelligent camera. It has the IVS built into it. You'll see it in a lot of bullets and domes. You'll also see it in a lot of our pan, tilt, and zoom cameras. There are 9 separate features of analytics that are built right into these cameras that give you everything from missing object to scene change to, again, motion events. You can configure this however you like. There's intrusion detection. I can go into here and actually draw filters and draw rules around, say, a door. When that door opens, I'm getting notified. You may have recognized this as our old motion detection. Remember, in the original motion detection, you only had 6 different properties for motion events. So it was either really, really low or really, really high or somewhere in between. With the new technology that's built into IVS, you have 0 to 100. So you can really fine tune and tweak this. Having the ability to do facial recognition is amazing. You now aren't going to get false alarms by animals walking by. A deer jumps over your fence. He's not going to trigger the motion, but a person, it has the analytics to actually discover that and see exactly who's there. We will be doing a webinar again on IVS. We did a great one last month while I was on the road. We talked a lot about how to set it up, how to configure it, how to do facial detection, how to do audio detection. We will definitely be covering that a lot more here this month. I think we have one set up. Later in the month, you'll definitely get an opportunity to see more and more of it. Missing object detection is a humongous part of IVS. I can highlight an area when a target is moved or when an object is moved, it will automatically notify me. I can set how my duration is going to be. I can see exactly when that target is moved. It's very, very cool technology. So say you've got a parking space and you've got a problem with vehicles getting stolen, not a problem anymore. You can grab that target, grab that region. Whenever there's motion, whenever there's movement there, it will notify you or trigger other cameras as well. Another real popular one is scene change. I can go into scene change and I can actually change recording. I can activate PTZs. It really gives me an amazing view and amazing control. Again, this is that Star Trek stuff we were talking about years ago that we were really waiting on, and really for a long time, you had to use a VMS platform in order to do this. Now you have the ability at the camera level to go in and do multiple scene changes, multiple tours, multiple snapshots. You can do an awful lot with the analytics that are now built in. Of course, facial detection is another huge part of this. I can enable it and actually have it notify when there's faces, when people are coming, if we're doing people counting, or if you're working in an area where maybe you don't want a lot of traffic, it's perfect because it'll give you notification. You can set it for certain zones and certain times. Again, it's not going to be thrown off by an animal or a vehicle driving by. You no longer have to worry about trees blowing around or anything that's going to be causing false alarms, because this product will only activate when it sees a face. So this is very, very cool technology. Again, make sure that you sell it as analytics, because that's exactly what it is. The IVS solution is very, very cool. Let's go ahead and jump into a couple of recorders real quick. I'm going to go ahead and close this out. Bear with me here 1 second while I open up my Smart ICRSS. There is a brand new version of Smart ICRSS coming out. You guys should definitely keep an eye out for it. It should be out within the next week or two. It's going to give you a whole new view of your 360 and 720 cameras. This is a new version. The Mac version has already been released. The Windows OS version, again, will be released in just a couple of days. It's going to give you the ability to go outside the box when we're looking at 360 cameras, for example. This particular one happens to be in our warehouse in Florida. You know that the technology that's built into Smart ICRSS now can give me multiple views. I can go into a panoramic view with my control on the bottom. I can see where he's going with this, driving around the warehouse doing laps. I can see exactly what's going on. If I want to zoom in, I can zoom in. If I want to zoom out, I can zoom out. I want to see what Mr. Tony's doing there. I can zoom in and zoom out to see him. I can also change this view. So if I go into a fisheye view, I can go into its native view. I can go into a multi-PTZ view. You'll notice each one of these grids is color-coded. I have green and yellow and blue. If I click on any of these, I can maneuver them around as if they were PTZs. So I can see everything that's going on in this particular view. Again, if I want to zoom in, I can zoom in. If I want to zoom out, I can zoom out. I have full control of this image. Now remember, there are no moving parts in this camera. It's giving me an amazing fisheye view that I can actually work with. I can navigate around it. I can manage it. I can control it as if it were multiple PTZs at this location. And I have all of this functionality through our free Smart ICRSS software. You'll notice you also have this functionality if you're using our 4K recorders. So that's the real advantage of using 4K recorders with our 360 or 720 degree cameras. So again, I can take a look at this image. I can delve into it. Another very popular view is our multi-PTZ view, which is this guy here. I have one image in the center. You'll notice the little boxes around it. They're color-coded and they match up with the boxes around the perimeter. If I want to grab this particular box and I want to move it around, I can move it around. If I want to move it left or right, if I want to zoom in, I can zoom in on it. I have an amazing control, an amazing view of just one small section. This is the future of surveillance. Imagine one camera with no blind spots that I have this functionality to be able to zoom in and grab certain quadrants of that camera, be it either live, like I'm seeing it now, being it through replay. If I'm doing playback, I can go into the same functionality and be able to control this very, very easily. Now, of course, you know our IC720 app is still free. It's a great application. I strongly recommend you pick it up and check out the demos on it. It takes this to the next level as well. Remember that if you've ever seen us at the trade shows, you look around your iPad, as you move your device around, the image moves with you. That works awesome with our 360 and our 720 cameras. Let's go into this guy here just to show you a little bit more about the analytics. This particular camera I've got set up with a rule. The rule is if there's any motion within this grid, it will go ahead and zoom in and track that target. Unfortunately, there's not much going on out there right now, but if someone were to walk out of the door, say in this building across the street, it will do facial recognition, recognize that it's a person, zoom in on them, and move around with them. It is awesome. Here's a good example again of our Starlight lens. This happens to be it's actually not a 5000 AF, it's a 5 megapixel Starlight lens. I'm looking at a good morning in beautiful Phoenix, Arizona. This is our Phoenix office. If I zoom in and zoom out, I have full control. You'll notice the camera will automatically adjust to that change. I could practically see the little birds and lizards on these trees as I move in. Now, I do have a little bit of latency because I am logging into Arizona. But again, you see how quickly this camera adjusts to it. I can really see the vehicle off in the distance. I can see the trees and everything up close. If this were a PTZ with iSniper Gen 2, you would really be able to move around and see an awful lot with it. Now remember, what the beauty of iSniper Gen 2 is that at night, it looks just like this. If I have 0 lux, I have absolutely no lighting at all, I can see an image as perfectly clear as I see here today. It is awesome. You're also seeing a big, tremendous move towards 4 megapixel cameras. IC Realtime is in the process of releasing a lot more 4 megapixel cameras. We think that it's a nice transition in the 1080p world. This happens to be one of our wedge cameras, our 402 IR 2.8. You'll notice it gives you a really nice 2.8 90-degree field of view. I can look down the aisle here on the right. I can also look back into the warehouse on the left. And I can see our builders actually building units. Remember, everything is built to suit. So they're actually building recorders for us right now. This is an amazing 4 megapixel view. Remember, everything is starting to head towards 4K. We're seeing a lot more ultra high definition. Remember, ultra high definition equates to about 8 megapixel. So if you're working in anything from 4 to 5 to 6 to 12 to 24, it is going to look absolutely amazing on a 4K recorder. So this may be a little grainy because I'm using the Join Me session, but essentially this is a crystal clear image in a 4 megapixel camera, and you're seeing more and more traction on the 4K. Finally, I want to give you one more look at iSniper. iSniper really gives you an amazing, amazing crystal clear image. So I'm looking at my parking lot here. I'm certainly able to make out faces. This particular camera does have tracking functionality, so if I have it set up to track people as they're walking through the parking lot, it will do that. You're really seeing some exciting things happening at IC Realtime. Again, some big changes in the website, some big changes in the dealer portal. You'll very soon see, oh, there we go, moving around a little bit. You'll definitely be seeing a new iSniper website here in the next couple of days. You will definitely have some awesome, awesome technology coming from IC Realtime. Are there any questions? Yes, I do have a lot of background noise, but let's see. I can mute everybody out. New version of the software. Are there any questions? All right. Well, if there aren't any questions, I will go ahead and wrap it up. Again, I am Patrick Carter. I'm the technical trainer here at IC Realtime. You can always reach me at patrick@icrealtime.com. We will be doing this webinar again at 4 o'clock this afternoon. And again, mark your calendars for Friday. We'll be doing our AVS introduction then. Also, tomorrow is our training day in-house. If you happen to be in the South Florida area and want to join us, please hop in. It'll be at 9:30 a.m. at our Pompano Beach office. Usually closes up around 12 o'clock, so we'll get you back in time to do some work tomorrow. But please mark your calendars and join us for the in-house training tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Thank you so much, and have a great day.